Alright, g'day guys, welcome back to another episode. As you can see, we're right at the top of the South Island here, right at the entrance to the Tory channel, standing on Arapawa Island. And what an epic place to be. This place is absolutely gnarly. You got pumping current, heaps of cold water coming in from the Cook Strait, right up this channel, right through that tiny gap. Arapawa Island on this side, New Zealand mainland on that side. Ex-whaling station, we're whaling up here right until the 60s. So there's heaps of memorabilia, heaps of history in this place, and you just take a look around. I mean, there's pillboxes, watch stations for the whaling. What an epic place to be, such a productive coastline. I'm not here for long, unfortunately, but I will get in the drink, and I'll make it a bit of a challenge myself to get a feed with the pole spear, because it is a pretty productive area and it'd be too easy to just hop in with the spear guns. So thanks again for coming back, guys. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and welcome back. Alright, so just jumping in the water, and first impressions, nice and clean. Just spotted a couple of blue mocky on the edge of the viz there, so make a drop down and see if I can entice them to come in. Nice schooling size fish, probably legal, but it's pretty early on in the evening, so I thought I'd just leave these guys be and just enjoy them for a bit. So I make my way out to the point and find this nice little bit of broken reef on the edge of the sand, and it's full of kahawai and blue maki. I thought I'd have a crack at one of these kahawai, but too fast for me. Probably a bit fast of a fish to be targeting with this cheap little pole spear. It's just a $20 warehouse jobby. Second drop of the day, and bumped into this big 7-gill shark. He's probably one of the biggest ones I've ever seen, so it's pretty intimidating at first, but I just sort of watched him, let him be, and had to give him a bit of a prod when he came too close. Some more schooling blue mocky here. Really nice to see. We don't often see big schools of them like this. When we bump into them in Nelson, they're usually solitary big fish, so these ones are the good eaters. Target for the day was butterfish, blue mocky and Tarakihi, and managed to get this one straight off the bat. Beautiful size eating fish. This is about 45 centimeters, and they are absolutely primo eating at that size. Put that blue mocky on the float and made another drop in the same area, and the viz was starting to deteriorate now, so obviously change of the tide is a bit of stirred up particles in the water. I was just sitting there waiting on the bottom, being patient, when a couple of Tarakihi rolled in. Managed to smash this nice fat one at the front, and I was pretty stoked at this point. I've never really taken pole spearfishing very seriously, so to get a feed like this, I was pretty stoked with it. It's putting this Tarakihi out of his misery when I looked down and I accidentally wrangled the 7-gill. Swam straight into the bungee and sort of panicked a bit, and gave me a bit of a fright as well, to be honest. So after that, I decided to swim into the shallows to deal with this fish, and stumbled on this patch of little power in the shallows, so decided to take one of those big ones for dinner. I didn't have a power knife on me, but I just measured one up next to my hand. Was pretty confident that it was oversized, so I was happy just using my sharp knife for this one and just taking the one power. So that's a pretty good start to the evening. Got a bit of an appetizer there, but after that shark encounter I decided I'd move to another spot. So I started swimming off and bumped into him again on the swim back to the beach. The GoPro angle's a bit off this time, so I didn't really get any footage of him, but you can see his tail here cruising along. So I hopped out, walked around the other side of the bay and got in at another spot. Initially it looked pretty dirty, but as I made it out a bit deeper it sort of cleared up a bit, and there was some real nice broken patchy reef onto sand, and this is just awesome habitat for fish like blue moki, Tarakihi, blue cod, and then you've got these big kelp forests behind it that would hopefully hold some butterfish. Decided to take a half pie shot at this blue moki here, but yeah, I'm still it's pretty hard, this pole spearfishing business. You can just see the water clarity here. I'm in about 10 meters and pretty clearly see this broken reef. It just looks like awesome habitat and super fishy. Nice school of kahawai coming in. So I dropped down to the edge of some kelp and I'm just trying to hold myself in the kelp and stay camouflaged and move slowly so I'm not spooking any of the fish. With pole spearing, it's really critical that you make the fish become comfortable around you, so as little movement as you can, as little eye contact as you can, and just staying camouflaged and quiet. Turn around and see this nice butterfish here, and this is the first one I've seen, so I thought I'd have a go at it and missed. But the beautiful thing about pole spearing is you can reload super quick. Just dropping down into the weed again, moving slowly, looking around, trying to be quiet, and I spot this little Tarakihi just in front of me here, which is a good sign because there were schooling fish. So I decided to leave him be and spotted a butterfish just cruising on the edge of the vis line there, so I backed off a bit, got up for another breath and dropped down in the same spot. With butterfish, often when you're dropping down they'll scatter, and it's not until that you've been on the bottom for a bit and they start feeling comfortable with you, they'll pop out again. And in this case, it was just as I started to creep forward, the same butterfish came out of the kelp on the left hand side. Beautiful looking fish, so I decided to make the stalk. Not moving too fast, not making too much noise, and no erratic movement. I didn't manage to get this one. They're pretty flighty fish because they obviously get shot a lot, but it's a good sign that they're in the area. When pole spearing, it's really important to be patient. Quite often when you're spearfishing, you can take a pot shot, you can take those long range shots, those awkward angles, but really when you're using a pole spear, the fish has to be right in front of you, a nice broadside presentation, and you've just got to be patient and take your time. So it is an awesome challenge and I really enjoyed this, but it is definitely harder. Obviously it's easier for the fish to rip out, so you've got to get right on top of it straight away and secure that fish without it ripping off. Pretty successful on this one, and I was stoked with that because that was a beautiful sized butterfish. Dropping down again on this beautiful broken reef, and same thing, just dropping to the bottom, not moving, staying camouflaged, maybe kicking up a bit of sand to get the fish curious, and just looking around to see what's presents itself. Nice school of blue moki coming in again, and I just see this butterfish cruising in off the sand, so managed to take a shot at him and absolutely nailed it. Stoked with this. This fish was absolutely massive. Big male butterfish, and it measured up at 54 centimeters. Absolutely beautiful fish. That's a good fish on the spear gun, never mind the pole spear, so I was stoked with that one. Just look at the colors on it. Beautiful fish. Dropping down again and just sitting on the bottom, cruising up to these blue moki because it's a nice fishy area and they seem to be pretty comfortable, so they're nice to just hang around, and hopefully they give the other fish the illusion that I'm safe and they might come in. So hanging around these fish just to see what happens. And I was getting pretty hungry at this point, and there's so many of these that I just couldn't say no, so I decided to take the biggest one and nailed it right in the head. Good holding shot and put it out of its misery straight away. Cruising around again, and you just can't get away from the blue moki in this area. They're just everywhere. So I wasn't too guilty about taking a couple, but I did see this nice Tarakihi come in and missed it. Hit a rock. But once again, the beautiful thing about these pole spears is you can reload and you can have another crack. Beautiful sized Tarakihi here. We don't get fish this big in Nelson, and these were just the perfect eating size. Nice fat fillets on them and real fun to hunt, real fun. I had a blast hunting these. Now Tarakihi are a schooling fish, so once I saw a few I decided to hang around the same spot in the hopes that the rest of the school would come through. So just taking it easy, cruising around, having a good look, and what do you know, found another patch of them. Not heaps of them, but they are starting to come in, so I was just being patient again, waiting, and my theory worked. They just started to roll in one after another. Doesn't mean I was going to get every single one, but that's the joy of it, you know, it's a bit of a challenge, so it was just good to see them. Tried a bit of a different tactic this time and stayed behind the weed. So I just dropped around here, staying real camouflaged and seeing if I could get a bit closer to them without them seeing me. Popped out and saw these couple straight away and nailed one. Right in the spine, beautiful shot. That fish was not going anywhere. Knowing that there was a school of Tarakihi in the area, I decided to start kicking up a bit of sand to try and pique their curiosity and bring them in. It also hazes the water up a bit, so it adds a bit of an extra layer of camouflage for me. And they just started cruising through it to see what was going on. The beautiful thing about spearfishing is you can be selective, so I wasn't rushing anything. I was trying to pick out the nice fat ones without spooking the school. Just taking my time, waiting for that perfect opportunity to present itself. And it doesn't always do that, and you miss. So I missed that one again, but not to worry, there's plenty more fish in the sea. No pun intended. Knowing that there was some Tarakihi in the area though, I just kept patient, kept trying, and soon enough, just a huge school started rolling through. As I was saying, Tarakihi are a schooling fish, and although it might look easy having all these fish in front of you, schooling is actually a defense mechanism for fish. They use it to confuse their predators because it's just so hard to concentrate, especially when you're trying to be selective. You're looking at one fish, changing to the next fish, and it really does confuse you and slows down your reaction time. And the school seems to have grown again. They just, hundreds of them, just cruising past, and I couldn't hit one to save my life. I don't know what was going on, just getting flustered, I guess. Getting excited. Don't often see big schools of them like this, and it was just such an awesome sight. So yeah, I was pretty keen to try and get a few more for the table, but it was proving pretty difficult, and it was getting pretty late in the evening. So I just decided to take another blue mocky. So I decided to call it there before Mrs. Shark came and visited me again, and went back to the accommodation, filled up some fish. Pretty tired at that point, so not long after that I went to bed and got up early in the morning to scout the front beach for some paper nautilus that we've been finding washing up over the last few days. That's when I stumbled across this guy. Check it out, just found this one on the beach getting picked by the seagulls, and it's still alive. Just, you can see the body twitching. It's pretty much at the end of it now, but you can see it's responding to me touching it. It's not often you find these intact like this, and this beach here, just consistently washing them up. We're getting like 2 or 3 a day, and it's well known for paper nautilus washing up because you got this big eddy in here and the Tory channel bringing in all that current from here, swirls around in here, and they just drop out of the water column and end up on these beaches. Pretty awesome find, man. I've never found one alive like this. I've only ever found the shells, and even those are delicate. So even though this one was still alive, the seagulls have got to it, broken the edge and a little bit in the inside here. But man, what an awesome find. What an absolutely awesome find. Paper nautilus from down in the depths. Epic creatures. Well, that's it for this one, guys. No cook up this time, but I'll try and get some more content out over the next few weeks. And once again, if you liked it, hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. It all really helps the algorithms, helps get these videos out there, and helps me in the long run. So thanks for coming back. If you're new to the channel, welcome, and hopefully we can see you again in the next one.